Okay, so the other day I had posted a quote on my Facebook wall, which I really like to do. I try to keep things energized, and I want to put something out there that invites comments, but at the same time gets my message out there to try and keep people motivated. And this one required a lot, it invited a lot of responses from, frankly, a lot of friends that I have that are still currently in the automotive business and not necessarily on the higher up end, mostly salespeople. And it invited a lot of comments that kind of followed after, and a big reason why I want to make this video. The quote was, if people are coming to work excited, if they are making mistakes freely and fearlessly, if they are having fun, if they are concentrating and being productive rather than preparing reports and going to meetings, somewhere in your organization you have a leader. And I want to reference back to some other of my personal experiences in the automotive industry, starting all the way back from a salesperson and even myself as a manager. And things get lost, okay, because your managers, if you're a sales manager or a general sales manager, yeah, you know what, you deal with life stress, you deal with a lot of different workloads, and if you're a general manager, chances are you're dealing with a lot of the headaches, and you're trying to build the infrastructure, and you're handling a lot of the expense reports that are coming through. And then you depend on your sales managers or your general sales managers to try and keep the atmosphere on a high level. Frankly, to the GMs, it is up to you to make sure that that atmosphere stays on a high level. But sales managers, the problem is that a lot of times we let ourselves shift over to desk managers. And you're more than that. Because if you are in a position where all you do is criticize, then guess what? You're not really helping the flow of the sales floor. You're not really changing the atmosphere to be productive. If salespeople are not coming to you without being afraid of asking a question, or without looking back and sitting there thinking, I don't have everything, they need to be willing to come to you and recognize that you're going to coach them on how to handle the next problem. You are in that position because you showed exceptional numbers in sales, you understood the process, you understood the product, you showed the ability that you have a natural networking ability behind you. Okay, so you got a position, you're getting paid a little bit more, and you got a lot of more responsibility upon you, but you get lost in the fact that you think when a salesperson brings you a deal, your job is to desk it the same way you would with everybody else, and you pass it on to them. No, I'm going to ask an honest question. Has anybody's father ever said, do as I say, not as I do? My dad said it to me all the time. And I think a lot of managers sit there and they preach. And I mean, how many, for salespeople out there, have you ever experienced a sales manager that says, always come to me to give a TO, and then when you go there for a TO, the sales manager kind of peeks up, looks out the office window and says, no, you're fine, just let them go, we'll be all right. And then they don't get off their desk and do a TO. I mean, how lazy is that? You're supposed to be the example. You're supposed to be the coach. And if you're not building up that atmosphere where people can come to you excited, open that they may have made a mistake, and willing to come to you for coaching, and if you're not walking around that showroom and trying to see what you can do to help everybody else, then guess what? You're doing a disservice and you're not really leading your team. And I'm going to tell you, it really does fall on the sales managers and the general sales managers. The general manager does have a tremendous amount of distractions, and they hold all that accountability onto you. But general managers out there, if you're not really paying attention that that's not happening, you're doing yourself a terrible disservice. It's your job to kind of coach that sales manager to be the coach and the uplifter and the leader of your team, because that's where they're going to go to all the time. You're in the office trying to handle all the infrastructure and all the little details that kind of come behind the scenes that a lot of us don't know about. Sales managers, we depend on you to coach us, to lead us, to set the example and set the pace for how that atmosphere is going to be inside your dealership. So please, pay attention to it and just ask yourself, am I being productive or am I being part of the problem? Okay? Thank you.